My overall thoughts on this move are I am shocked at the level of work that has had to go into it. Barb and I would have been discussing and have discussed numerous times how we just get kind of snippets of it up there, and talking to my brother and everything, how much work. And then you think about it though, it's the entire life of this whole family is in this house, so there's quite a bit to it. So I guess I applaud my parents for having the gumption to move forward with it, but I think in the end it's going to be extremely good for them to get out of the city that isn't the same as it was when we were all growing up, and it's just so congested and crowded now. So I think they'll really like living where they're going to move.
It's crazy, but James and Mary have been doing a lot of work, so a lot. I've been part of it, but but it's just crazy. I don't know. It's just a lot of things. We're discovering a lot of things, so no, it's just hectic, I think, for everyone. So
I think that it's such a big decision that they've made. And it's really good because they're gonna get out of El Paso, which is just becoming way too busy and way too populated for them. And I think it's really good that they're moving to such a smaller town, which I think will just be better for them overall. And also it's good that they're moving and they're still gonna be near family, which I think is really good, and they're not too far away, so we'll still be able to visit them a lot. But I think it's just overall it was a very good decision that they made.
I'm really glad that this move is happening and that it's happened the way it has, and I think God has absolutely had his hands on every bit of it, because it is wonderful that you guys will be in a new home making new memories and it'll be a safer, more conducive environment moving forward. And I think that that's absolutely wonderful that it's been able to happen the way it is, because even though we love that house, it's just a house, and we'll always have the memories that we have made there.
My overall thoughts on this move are, I feel like there's a lot of ups and downs to it. Like, it is really, really sad because we're all so used to coming here so often, and a lot of the times I would come over here after school just to talk about my day and everything with them, and I would learn so many things from Papa, and I'm really gonna miss all of that. And just around all the holidays, it's almost like it feels like a second home to me, and it always has, because it's always like a place that I've been able to come to or fall back on, or also get any type of help that I needed from them in any way. And I don't know, it's really like emotional, but at the same time I do feel really happy for them, because I feel like Fredericksburg is a lot better for them. It's more of a homey place, and they won't feel so crowded here because of how much is happening in El Paso, and they're going to be closer to more family members, and I feel like it's just a better place that's more calm. And like, I feel like they kind of just bring a home with them wherever they go, and it's just so like happy and like just so positive all the time wherever they are. So I feel like we will adjust and get used to it, and hopefully we can visit a lot. But I feel like it is the best decision for them right now.
So I think it's such a unique opportunity for Nana and Papa at their age to start a whole entire new chapter. I think it's really exciting because they're going to get a chance to make this home exactly what they need at this stage of their life, just like they made this house what they needed at the stage they were at. So I think it's a super unique chance for them to really carve out the next chapter of their life.
It's been a whirlwind. It's been like up and down and crazy, because it was talked about for a little while, and then it was like put on hold, and then we were wanting to make sure everyone was on board. But as soon as everything was decided, it happened fast. So I feel like it's been great because everyone's come together, everyone's been working together, everyone's driving each other crazy, but that's family. It's been a lot of things, but it's a lifetime. But it's good. It's very good. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy that they're doing this, because the end result is what I keep focusing on. And I know they're going to be happier in Fredericksburg. El Paso is just overgrown them, and they need to be in a better place, and that's what's the driving force. So I am happy. They're happy tears.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a lot, but it's been good, and I just appreciate everyone's help and Uncle Bo and just everybody coming together to really help out, because that's what we do. We come together.
I think this move is the biggest thing that's happened to them in the last, 50 years. I think it's going to be in their best interest, because I think that over the last 70 years, El Paso has not turned into something that is better for the culture of our family. I think that it's turned into the very opposite of that. So I think that's kind of been hard on Nana and Papa, just because of the people that they are, the good people that they are. And I think that El Paso doesn't reflect that. So I think that the move is going to be very good for them. But it's literally the biggest thing that's happened to them in probably 50 years. So I know that everybody's running around right now, kind of, I'm sure there's a lot of stress and there's tension and all sorts of feelings, right? But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be very, very good for them. And I think they'll look back on all of it and they'll say, you know what, that was the right decision.
I think I'm just gonna go with what Rod says. No, I'm just kidding. I was really surprised, but I think it's a really good move, and I'm really happy for them.
My overall thoughts on the move is that I am so excited. I think it is about time for us to have Nana and Papa closer to us. We've done our part of living 11 hours away. We've put in our time. Now it's finally our time to have Nana and Papa close to us, and I couldn't be more excited. I just feel like this is just going to be the start of a whole new adventure, a whole new life, a whole new way of living, and I am just so excited that this happened. This is happening. Everybody's on board. Everybody's been helping out, and I'm so excited. That's my overall opinion.
I think it's going to be great.
Well, if I stopped moving enough with the move to think about it, was probably a little bit more stuff than I anticipated. And I anticipated a lot, and it was more than I even thought. So the move has been difficult, but after a couple of months of working, I think we've made so much progress that it's unbelievable to think about where we started. So it's just been a difficult process. You know, if you have 6 guys and 2 big moving trucks, everything goes and you're done in a week, you know. But the way Nana and Papa have kind of been doing it is like they have a tub of cashews. Instead of deciding whether or not the whole tub of cashews goes or it doesn't, they're taking out each cashew and looking for holes and halves and deciding which ones to keep. And I completely understand it. Their entire half a century of their life has been here at this house, and they have pretty much their whole lives tucked into filing cabinets and in boxes and in bags of wood, behind boxes of wood, underneath pallets of nails, all over this place. So the move has been, it's a huge undertaking, but I think we're finally here. I wasn't sure what was going to be more difficult, the physical move or the mental, emotional move for Mom and Dad. So I was hoping to help with the emotional part, some type of El Paso catastrophe this last week, so Nana and Papa could be like, let's just get the heck out of Dodge and not look back, because there's a lot of things that will tie you here when you talk about the emotional aspect of it. But it's been a big move.
Overall thoughts. I am extremely excited for them to move because they get to move next to me. So I feel like I'm getting the biggest benefit of the move because I have not lived next to Nana and Papa for even know how many years, since I was 20, no, probably since I was 19. So I never thought in a million years that I would get the opportunity to do life every day with them again. And so I'm extremely excited and blessed that I have that opportunity for their final chapter of their life here on earth before they get their heavenly reward. So I'm just completely ecstatic that I get to do that. And I know it's been such a process here, and I haven't really gotten to witness that every day, but so much thankfulness from my heart for everyone here that's helping them kind of shift through the last 50 years of memories here, because that's been rough, I know. So anyway.
Yeah. I think it's good, even though change can be hard, especially with a house full of memories. But I know this will be good for the both of them in the end.
My overall thoughts on the move, I think that it's very bittersweet, because y'all have lived in that house since my mom was little. I mean, I don't even know how long. Maybe y'all have lived there for like 50 years, which is crazy. But as long as I've been alive, going there has been the time where I spend the most around my family, around the most of everybody, and the most quality time has been spent in that home. And I just have so many rich memories there of all of us growing up, and just, you know, that's just where I feel like my heart lies, is in that house in El Paso. And I know that it's gonna always, those memories are always gonna be there. So it is bittersweet for that reason, but I'm so happy that y'all are making this move, and selfishly I'm happy that you're moving closer to me and you're moving in with my parents. So every time that I go home now, I get to see y'all rather than a couple times a year. So for that reason, I'm so happy, and I think that it's really an exciting thing that y'all are starting a new chapter later on in your life, because El Paso is all you've known for the past, I don't know, maybe 50 years. And y'all really made the biggest impact there on your community, and with, you know, how widespread our family was there and all the memories that we have there. But it's so exciting that y'all are getting to embark on a new journey to, you know, start making some new memories and have some new experiences in a new place. So I'm so happy that y'all are close by, and hopefully that means that everyone visits, you know, closer to us more, and I get to see everybody a lot more. But the whole feeling is very bittersweet. But I'm so happy that y'all are close by and I get to see you more. And I'm always going to remember the memories at that house so fondly, and they'll never leave my memory. But I am so sad that I can't go back there anymore and feel it, and, you know, be in the angel room, or be in the backyard, or be in Nana and Papa's room and see all of their stuff set up. I don't know. I am so happy, but I'm also very sad. So that's just how I feel.
I'm not gonna lie, it took me several attempts at recording this. I found it very, very difficult to put into words what it feels like, and the flood of memories that came back as I thought about the house. So I am so happy that you guys are moving on to something better in your lives that is going to be extremely good for you, especially as far as getting around the home comes. So that's very comforting to me, that life is going to be easier for the two of you. I definitely won't say that it's not kind of hard for me to hear that. It's been years since I've been to the house, and I had extremely hoped to figure out some sort of way to come down there and visit over the past couple of months before it was no longer an option to do so.
So my overall thoughts on the move, I don't think it's really like hit me yet. And I think it's because it's like Nana and Papa's house has just always been here, you know, like it's just for my entire life and for everybody's entire life, you know, mostly everybody. It's just been here. It's always been like the thing that makes El Paso what it is. And it is really hard, obviously, to see them go now, because just them, you know, like just Nana and Papa, they've just been here. They've been a constant in my life. They've been a constant in everybody's life, and it's always been Nana's house. And it's deeper than just the words of Nana's house. It's what Nana's house represents, and I'm sure you all understand what I mean when I say the term and the word just brings this warmth and this comfort because of Nana and Papa, and they just, whoever they're by and whoever they're near, they just bring so much warmth and comfort to everybody. They're just, if they're, I can't think of a better definition for the word comfort than Nana and Papa's house. Yeah, so it's hard to see it go, but I'm happy that they're happy and that they seem to be more comfortable where they are now, and I know wherever they go, they'll bring that comfort with them too.
I am very sad to see this house kind of go out of the family, but at the same time, I'm very happy that Nana and Papa are getting out of El Paso, because I think it has gone in a direction that's not so great.
My overall thoughts of Nana and Papa moving is I'm so happy. I'm so happy that every time I get to go home, I get to see them now. I'm so happy that everyone's together. I'm so excited for my mom. I know how excited she is about getting to see her parents every day. And Fredericksburg is a beautiful, wonderful place that I think they will love.
Overall thoughts, I feel like it's good for them because they'll get out of El Paso and they'll spend more time with Susie and Rod. And I feel like they'll make more memories somewhere else.
My overall thoughts so far on this move is I'm glad we're doing this. I'm sad that we're leaving really nice people behind. I'm glad because I'll spend some time with people that we haven't spent a lot of time with lately. I think that I'm looking forward to being in a place that I know very little about because I'm a very curious person. I'm sad because I really do like El Paso and its people. But if I have to be confined with old age, I think I'd prefer doing what we're going to do.
Oh my goodness, overall thoughts. I am so happy we're moving. Why? Because El Paso is getting very, very intensely crowded. And we really don't go out anymore because there's just too much traffic, and we don't want to be caught in traffic or on the interstate because everybody's going way too fast. And personally, the house is getting almost too much to handle because we do have a whole acre, and Papa loves to water trees and to cut down weeds, and he's getting almost too old for that. And I have a little trouble climbing up those steps. So I'll be really happy when we do move. There's a few things I won't be happy about, and that's leaving Mary. Mary and family, and James, of course, because they've been so helpful and so loving in every way. This could be hard, but everything else could be great. And when I tell people that we're moving from our community or church, they say, "Oh, you're gonna love Fredericksburg because it's so beautiful and friendly." And so that makes me feel better. And the thought that Mary said she's gonna, visit me every month, I'm gonna hold that to her. And the fact that Lowly is going to be going to Incarnate Word in San Antonio at the beginning of the year, that makes me feel really good because she's only an hour away, I understand, in San Antonio to Fredericksburg. So that makes me very happy. So overall, I think the move is going to be very good. It was intensely difficult to move and decide what we're going to keep and what we're going to give away and what we're going to store, but I think we got a good handle on it all. So I'm happy and looking forward to the new adventure. Even though we are up in the years, but I understand that new adventures never end, and so we will be looking forward to that. Amen.
One distinct memory. There are quite a few of them, and most of those involve somebody hurting themselves. So I'll think of something better, which is I distinctly remember when we were all younger and there were hardly any houses out here. Loma Verde was a caliche road. There were no other streets, very few houses, and it was kind of the wilderness, so to speak. And it was so neat to just have jackrabbits in the backyard and to go out on the deck in the evenings and hear the coyotes on the hill. There was a hill that no longer exists that I think we even used to call it like Coyote Hill or something, because there would be packs of coyotes out there all the time. And for a little kid, it's a little frightening, but at the same time, it's really totally neat to see that. So there's some memories that I think involve how this neighborhood used to be 30, 40, 50 years ago. And it's definitely changed and forever gone, but those are fond memories. So.
I think Christmas mornings, the Christmas mornings here. And then from Christmas morning, we'd go to Mass. Or anytime we're in the living room with the fireplace. Or like if it's a little get together or something and we just have the fireplace. Like tossing like the tissue and the gifts and stuff. So just kind of hanging out, just family. That's what I think about.
A few distinct memories I have is having sleepovers with the Martins, and also just with Joey whenever we would build forts and whenever we would get in trouble with Nana because we would stay up so late and be making so much noise, and also just watching movies those nights and eating popcorn. Also, Christmas was a big memory because we were so used to it every year, just coming, and whenever some of the out-of-town family would come in, it was just so much fun being able to do this with everybody every year, and being able to experience it was amazing, and very good memories here, but it's very sad to see them go.
All of the kids playing hide and go seek through the house and hiding in Nana's office when we weren't supposed to all of us sitting around in the kitchen just sharing stories and talking about our lives. There's lots of cherished memories. But my favorite would have to be when we would come to visit and Jonathan and I would be going to sleep in the angel room, and Nana would come in, and even when we got older, she would sing lullabies to us. She would sing the I See the Moon song and the moon sees me, or she would sing These Are My Favorite Things. That's probably my favorite memory. And here is little Violet, who absolutely loves you guys, talks about Haley on the regular, and is very excited to come see you in your new home. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
My favorite memory that I have here is probably all the memories of us in the backyard when we were all kids, like just all of us and all the cousins playing. Whenever we would play like baseball and badminton and play in like the very back when we would like film our movie and stuff, and just all those little like toys that we had, and like the little playhouse we would always play in, and that big turtle sandbox we would always try to swim in, and just like that one time whenever Joey had like his little car Jeep thing when we were all kids, and we had flipped it over and we found a bunch of black widows and black widow eggs like all over the bottom, and we got so scared, and then Papa came like running in to save us, and he smashed all of them with the shovels, and we were all running around. I feel like all of those memories in the backyard are like what's really stuck with me all these years, or what I think about the most.
The thing that I always think about at this house is noise. It's always got so much laughter and storytelling. There's just never a quiet moment in the house, and it really wasn't built to be a quiet house. It was built for people talking and visiting and being with each other and arguing and laughing. And I think it's just that's the thing that always has stood out to me about being here at the house in El Paso.
Overall, it was just the childhood memories of just, like we were talking about the other night, running out in the desert and having near-death experiences all the time, but it was just our way of life, and it was wonderful and it was beautiful. I remember in the kitchen, and it was during the summer because we were all here and no parental supervision whatsoever. Uncle John decided, and Uncle James were having a contest trying to drip grape juice into my mouth from about, I don't know, 5 to 6 feet above me. So I was laying down on the kitchen floor and they put towels around my face and they were dripping grape juice in my mouth. So that was fun. And also there was an ice fight, I remember, between me and James and John. And it got very violent. We had welts, but it was an ice fight. But other than that, great memories, dune buggy, dirt bikes, go-karts. I crashed the go-kart. I didn't know how to drive it. I didn't take my foot off the gas pedal, so that was fun. Broken arm, front yard helping Papa with the rock wall, so all good, all good.
Well, I'm not the oldest cousin. I'm the third oldest shareful cousin, right? But I've been at this house the longest. Okay, and I think that's where it's kind of tough for me because I lived here personally. Dad lived here. I remember going downstairs when Dad lived in the train room before there was ever a train room. And I lived in the sailboat lighthouse room before that was ever a thing. Dad used to pick me up and take me to school. So it's a little different for me because it's not just memories. It's like I literally, I lived here for a very big portion of my life. I used to come here every day after school. And I did that all the way up till, well, now as an adult, it's 28 years that I was baptized in this house, right? That's 28 years in this house. But standing outside right now doing that last walk around, right in the backyard next to that real big tree. My dad built me a swing on that tree, which the swing was fine, right? Because, everything was fine with it, but the branch wasn't straight. It was at an angle. So whenever you would swing with it, it would never swing straight. It'd always swing really weird and crooked. And it was always pretty funny because it worked, but it never really worked right. And I remember that because I was standing out there and I still see the grooves, the indents on that tree from where the ropes from the swing were. But I have too many fond memories. There's just too many. I really can't go into too much more detail because every day here was a good memory, it was a good time, and just playing with trains with Papa, or just running around with Jonathan in the backyard shooting at each other with BB guns or whatever that was. It was always a good time.
Probably the 20 plus Christmas Eves that we spent there along with Uncle Joe is something that I'm going to remember and I'll never forget.
And I guess the first story that comes to mind for Nana and Papa's last house was whenever it would rain a lot and we would go down and catch all of the frogs, like the hundreds of frogs that were outside. And then we would take a couple home with us and have little habitats for them. But yeah, there's so many memories. But the first one that comes to mind is all the frogs. Yay, I love y'all.
Easter and Christmas.
One distinct memory would be really tough because as we've been pulling out stuff from the last half century, you run into things you haven't seen and they have jarred so many memories, but you're so intimately connected with this physical structure, like the bullet hole that's right there. I don't know if anybody's referenced that yet, but it's just any aspect of this whole yard you could look at, the house, any of the rooms, anything in it, and you can instantly think about any of the memories or times that you've had here. I think it's almost unfair to say, give me one memory. What I think stands out for me is the fact that the physical location of this place was where I grew up and learned who I was. And I raised 2 boys here. And all of the different aspects of just life and growing up and learning who you are and having all life memories were just centered here. And I don't know if anybody has referenced what Papa said about it being like Noah's Ark. So Papa said Noah's Ark was extremely important, had to be built good and robust and to the laws and to the rules, and it had to survive this cataclysmic event which was going to wipe out mankind. But its purpose was to save all of the animals and Noah's family so that they could go on. So that's kind of like this house. This house was not the sticks and bricks of the house that was important, but its job was to raise the family. And I think, from that perspective, it did what it was supposed to do. And now, Noah could not have maintained the ark forever. It had its purpose and it lived it, and it gave the opportunity for life after that. And so I think that's what this house has done, is it's given Nana and Papa an opportunity to raise their children and to kind of have life go on from that experience. So it's done a good job.
There's so many, obviously. I moved into this house for my 5th birthday. And so for so many of my memories, my most happiest memories were birthday parties at this house. Because as soon as we started getting old enough to have friends over, and not just family and just having friends, the highlight was dune buggy rides, and Papa would get the dune buggy out, and that literally was the highlight. That was the activity we did for our birthdays. And we just got to ride around the desert, because I think I was the only one of my friends who had a dune buggy, and whose dad would literally go do crazy wild things in the dune buggy with all my friends for birthday. So that is just such a great memory I have of this house. But there are way too many to capture. And in this very room, this was my room for a while, my favorite wallpaper of all time, it was all pastels, so greens, yellows, blues, pinks, and I would always stare at the wallpaper trying to decide my favorite color. But it was little girls playing in like a little field. So they were jumping rope, hopscotch, having picnics, but that was my wallpaper. And I just can still remember me laying in bed just staring at my wallpaper, imagining having fun with all the little girls and trying to figure out my favorite color.
I think all the love and family closeness that everybody has, because I'm so used to that with my family, and I see it here. That brings my heart so much warmth.
I have such a fond memory of when we were all really little, and we used to always play in the backyard at Nana and Papa's, and all the inflatable water slides and water toys and pools and everything, we set them all up, and we put together like an obstacle course. So it was like the big purple octopus looking one that would spray water everywhere, and then there was pools, and all the kids would do the slip and slide and then jump in the pool and then jump around. And I don't even remember exactly what the motive was. I think we were all just trying to race and have fun, but I just love that memory so much. And looking back on all the times that we'd be in Nana and Papa's backyard, we would play mud parties in the little turtle sandbox, just all the summer activities we would do in the backyard make up so much of like my favorite childhood memories in that home.
So I just wanted to talk about that one. I just love that memory so much. But we have that picture of all the little grandkids, and it's not even all of them. It was just like the younger age ones at the time. But there's a picture of Papa, and he's holding the big turtle shell lid to the sandbox, I think to guard us all from the water that was spraying everywhere. And then all the little grandkids are underneath, and it's funny because like in the photo, I think Clara and Joey are like fighting, and some of the kids are yelling and the rest of us are laughing. And it was just such a sweet picture, and it just reminds me of how much I used to look forward to going to Nana and Papa's every summer for a couple weeks or a month at a time, and we would just have the most fun just like making obstacle courses or making make-believe games in the backyard and just playing back there for hours. And you know, the aunts and the uncles would come join for a little bit, and my mom would always be taking photos. I don't know, it was just like the funnest experience I could have as a kid growing up, being able to go to my grandparents' house and just know that like all my cousins would be there and we could play all day until the sun went down. And I don't know, I just love that memory so much.
I think my favorite memory of the home is I really can't pick a favorite memory. There's too many memories there. That's all the memories I had growing up with cousins, and anytime going to see family was at that house. So whether it was watching Papa put together trains down in the basement, or little projects in the garage, or standing out on the balcony looking for the star on the mountain, the smell of mesquite baking in the sun from that backyard, the endless adventures, the incredible amount of Nazi Germans that died trying to assault the wall, to me and Jimmy and Brooke as we boldly defended it as army soldiers. Buried fossil eggs being dug up, the large tree climbed daily, pecans being gathered, the giant dump pit that used to exist back in the desert behind the home where Dad and Uncle Bo found tons of model airplanes and brought them back to the house and launched them from a slingshot into the desert. Just so many good memories that I will keep forever. Thank you for all of those memories. I love you guys.
We were having a sleepover, as we do with the Martins and Joey. I can't remember if the Martins were there, but I know Joey was there. I want to say Clara was there. I'm pretty sure. So I think they were there. And so it was pretty late. We had just finished watching a movie, and we all we couldn't go to sleep. You know, we were wired. We were just, you know, how it goes. And so we were trying to be real quiet. We were talking. We were trying to get snacks and stuff. And then we hear Nana, you know, come out of her room, and she's gonna come and check on us. So we all just like dive into our beds and cover with the sheets because we didn't want to get in trouble. And so I remember I laid down, but I was turned the other way. And so when I turned my head back around, from my point of view, Nana was gone. And I was like, okay, we're good, we're safe. And then I remember sitting up, and nobody else was sitting up, nobody was talking. And I was like, what the heck, guys, she's gone. Like, she's not there anymore. And then I think it was Danny, she was sleeping right next to me. She looks up. I just remember looking down and seeing her face looking up at me and being like, Lily, she's right there. And I was like, what? And I look, and in that red chair that was a little off of the dining room table, Nana was just staring at me with these daggers. Her eyes were just piercing my soul. And I was like, I'm gonna die today. This is the end for me. I just remember being mortified because I was also embarrassed because, you know, I thought that I was the only one that thought she was gone while everybody else was still pretending to be asleep. But she was just staring at me, and I don't know if she actually did see me because it was pretty dark, but it's like I felt the aura of her staring at me because of how prominent it was, and I just have such a vivid memory of that because of the utter terror I felt.
One distinct memory I have, can I do two?
Yes.
Okay, one Thanksgiving, we were sitting around the table and Papa spilled the beans about Susie's pregnancy. I don't remember which kid. It was funny. And then the other one is everybody's sitting around in the living room, on the floor, on the couches, watching slideshows of Papa's. Yeah.
One distinct memory I have from their house is when we were all super young, we were running around their backyard with the inflatable water slide and the inflatable pool. And I think it's something that I'll never forget. And every single memory I have from that house are memories that I will never forget.
I would say all the times we had the sleepovers with all the cousins. We were young, but it was fun because, you know, staying up late, going to get snacks, trying to sneak away from Nana. I feel like those are really the best memories I had because it was all of us together.
One distinct. The memories of this house, of course, are extremely complex because it was something that we chose, location, and we did ourselves, and it took 20 years to accomplish, finishing it to the point where it even yet isn't finished. But still, I'm glad we did it. We met wonderful people on the street. I really enjoyed the early days where we had street parties and everybody had a common interest for their neighborhood. And today it's a little more distant and people we don't know. So I'm not that sad about leaving. I do think that leaving El Paso, I will leave some of my best friends behind, and that's a loss for both us and them. But I'm looking forward to new opportunities in an area that's culturally very rich. And so that's my feelings about the move, past and present. Well, this house and my memories of my family are totally intertwined. I can't separate them. I'm very happy with my family. I'm very happy that God has given us the ones that we have to care for, and think that He's been very gentle with us in the sense that we haven't had any serious illnesses or accidents. And I think that we've been very, very blessed. And I wouldn't do it differently than I have this time around.
Just one?
If you can.
Oh my goodness. I think when we moved in the house, I remember Johnny was about 6 and Mary was about 4 and little James was just about a year old, and I remember them trying to help us hammer up some sheetrock, and it was so cute because they had hammers and they were pounding away, and I thought, wow, it's a family deal. And we, since Papa built the house, we helped build. We helped learn how to pound, sheetrock up. I learned how to do electrical work, and so that was really fun. The roof was a little challenging, but we got it done. Another thing I remember so distinctly, when I was carrying James, I was, oh my gosh, I must have been 7 or 8 months pregnant. I was outside digging a drain field for our septic system, and I did great. And I thought, well, maybe that's why James was my biggest baby and the strongest, and so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but that was one of the nice memories. Another nice memory is when we added on to the house, we had this upper section added on. Maybe a couple years later, we had a big Christmas party up there, and we invited the Ivies, and Jim Ivy brought his guitar, and so it was so cool because we had the Blaines there and all the Ivies there, and of course our family, and we were very close. We had such a beautiful Christmas that year. So that was another very pleasant memory. Gosh, there's so many. Oh yes, the memory I really liked was when Papa was building the back patio, we did section at a time, and Johnny and Susie did the troweling in the wheelbarrow with all the cement, and Mary, she was sitting in a bucket full of water, and she was just having a ball because she was just sitting there watching everybody, and we just thought that was the cutest thing. But there's so many memories, but those were the highlights of some of them, and I think I'll always remember the pleasant things about this place, especially that when we first moved here, there was nobody here around us. I mean, it was just desert and hills, and the kids just loved it because they could run all over, and we didn't worry about them. We weren't worried about the traffic. We weren't worried about strangers because we really didn't have any. So it was really a great place to raise the kids. And so the memories there will be wonderful. And but I'm looking forward to the new adventure and the new chapter in our life.
There is a house built out of stone.
What do you think before this, and what else? About your family? Your
Tables and chairs worn by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel alone. This is a place where I feel at home. Out in the garden where we planted the seeds, there is a tree as old as me. Branches were sown by the color of green. Ground had rose and past its knees. By the cracks of his skin I climbed to the top. I climbed the tree